Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I have missed you all so much. I seriously missed filming in a proper setup and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for your support and your patience while we have been getting settled here. It has been insane and busy, and it is just great to be back up and running again. I've got my setup, I've got a bit of lighting, and just everything is good again, so it feels so good to be back. And I know what you're thinking, Sarah, where is that apartment tour? We want to see your place. Don't worry, it's coming very soon. Probably within a week you will have an apartment tour and you'll learn more about our move and more details, but I'm not quite there yet, so I thought I would do something different today. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the pros and cons and just a bit of an update because it has been one full year since my husband and I went vegan. So if you were there for the announcements video, like, congratulations, you've been watching me for a year already. Can you believe that? So we went vegan in September of 2016, September 1st, 2016. And yes, it has been 365 days with no meat, cheese, dairy, eggs, honey, wool, silk, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to sit down and share my experiences. So let's start with the positives. Number one is that I have lost quite a bit of weight. If you've been watching me for a while, again, you've probably noticed I constantly see comments, have you been losing weight? Did you lose weight? And I do honestly feel like I am still losing weight. I do not weigh myself, but sometimes I just honestly look in the mirror, and this probably sounds weird, but I look in the mirror and I go, wow, I am looking really thin. Like, how did this happen? Because I'm not dieting or exercising like crazy or anything like that. It's just the lifestyle changes of being vegan and walking and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of leads me into the major positive of being vegan this past year is that I no longer have to calorie restrict or count calories or look at calories. At least I don't. I'm sure there are some vegans that pay more attention to that stuff depending on their goals, but for me, I don't calorie restrict at all. I eat whatever I want, basically within reason, whenever I want, and I don't worry about calories. So I guess I used to be your typical dieter who would want to lose 5-10 pounds. You restrict calories for a few weeks, try out a diet, it doesn't work, you blame yourself, you give up, you go back to how you used to be eating, and you gain all the weight back. I did do that for a little bit during my adult life, and now I don't do that anymore, and it is fantastic. Just eat all the vegan food that I want. Of course, you're gonna say you can gain weight on a vegan diet. Absolutely you can. You can be vegan and just eat Oreos and drink Mountain Dew, but I'm just talking about a more well-rounded, somewhat balanced diet. We always work towards eating more whole foods, but we're certainly not perfect, and we certainly allow ourselves to eat vegan ice cream or vegan hot dogs or whatever every now and then. But as a whole, we eat far less junk food than we used to, and it is amazing. This probably sounds funny, but when I walk down the street and I see $1 pizza and $2 hot dogs and all that kind of stuff, I don't go, oh dang, I'm missing out, such a bummer that I can't eat that. I go, thank goodness that I am vegan and that I have a bigger reason than just my personal health not to eat those food items, because I'm the type of person, if I give myself any sort of wiggle room, any sort of opportunity to eat that, I would take it. So honestly, I look at Matthias when we walk by those $1 pizza stands and I say, I am so happy that we are vegan, because if I was just vegetarian or just trying to lose weight, I would go right in and get that pizza. I know myself, and I just do not have the willpower. So being vegan is not just about your health, at least for me. I definitely do it for the animals as well. So it makes it very, very easy for me to say no to those foods. And I guess a lot of you are questioning at this point, have you made any slip-ups in the past year? Have you eaten any animal products on purpose or accidentally? And the answer is no. Purposefully, definitely not. It is not food to me anymore. Animal products are not food to me anymore. The idea of eating any of that stuff is very kind of disgusting to me at this point. Accidentally, I don't believe I've eaten anything. Perhaps it could have happened, but nothing major. Maybe there was something in a dish at a restaurant or something, but to my knowledge, no, I have not eaten a single animal product in the past year. A huge positive of being vegan over the past year that we have noticed is that we are just so aware, so much more aware of everything, whether that's what we're buying, what we're eating, all that kind of stuff. You know, we're constantly picking up packages and looking at ingredients. That's something I never did in the past, and I learned so much. I really love learning, so I love to learn about, you know, what is in the food, what is that ingredient, what does that do, can I make a better selection? Also learning all sorts of new recipes. It's so fun. You can get so creative, and you would be really surprised the things that you can do with plant food. Vegans have so many options nowadays, just as many options as far as food as meat eaters. So it's fun to get creative and try to make, you know, some vegan burgers and pizzas and stuff at home. I really have fun with it. Another huge positive of going vegan is meeting other passionate vegans. It's great. I know vegans have a bad rap, especially here on YouTube, for being super aggressive or whatever, pushing their beliefs and all this kind of stuff. But it's really not true for most of the vegans that I know. They're all super lovely people that are just trying to be better, do better for themselves, for the planet, for animals, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that I can be a little bit of a spokesperson for veganism, or at least be an example of a vegan that I think doesn't really fall into that category of blaming and shaming people. I'm just here to share my experience, and hopefully along the way you might get interested in it and try it out for yourself as well, because it honestly is so easy. If I can be vegan, the pickiest eater that I ever met, and just, you know, I used to love chicken nuggets and cheese and all that kind of stuff. If I can do it, honestly, anybody can do it, and I'm not missing out on anything. Of course, there have been some negatives that go along with being vegan. The main one that I can think of is when I see meat in stores, or people buying meat or consuming meat in restaurants. It honestly makes me very sad, because I don't see chicken wings as like food. I see an actual chicken in my head that was running around, that had a family, that had children, that, you know, loved their mother, that got its throat slit. And that is a very hard thing to deal with once you make that connection between what you're eating, how it got there, how it got on that shelf. It is a very hard thing to confront. If you think about it too much, I don't think it's healthy to think about it too much. It's good to be aware and to remind yourself why you're vegan, why you're doing what you're doing. But for me, if I go too deep into thinking about all that stuff, I find it very depressing, so that is a bit of a negative. Another negative is when you go out to dinner, it can be a little bit challenging. There are vegan options at basically every single place, but sometimes it's only one option or two options. For example, we just discovered Chipotle. I had like my first Chipotle ever living back in the US, and there's pretty much one vegan option as far as like a protein. So they have like this Sofritas tofu thing or whatever. It's really yummy, but again, it's the only option. Not that we go out to eat that much anyways, but sometimes it can get a little bit redundant to always have to stick to the same thing. Of course, you can get a little bit creative, but you guys know what I mean. It can be a little bit limited in restaurants. At home, that is absolutely not the case, but often there's just one or two vegan options on the menu, and yes, it can get a little bit boring. Another negative is when you get into a discussion about veganism. You know, sometimes it comes up when you're at a party and you say, I don't want to eat that or that, and you know, they say like, oh, are you not hungry? You just say, no, I'm vegan, and they might want to get into it a little bit with you. And sometimes the arguments can be very frustrating. When I understand that, I know I was there, I didn't understand it either, but when people use arguments, you know, and try to say, oh, plants feel pain, there's no difference between chopping a carrot and slitting the throat of a cow, this can be a little bit frustrating. And I know it sounds probably silly to all of you reasonable people watching this video, but you would be surprised the arguments against veganism that vegans hear. Also, a lot of people think that vegans push their beliefs onto meat eaters. But I would challenge you to be vegan at a barbecue and see who's the ones pushing their beliefs, because I could say the same thing for meat eaters. You know, you see meat being pushed to you constantly. You say you don't want meat and people push their beliefs why you should eat meat on you. So it honestly does go both ways, and the whole vegan stereotype is a bit of a bummer. But again, I do want to start making more vegan content on here to hopefully help break that stereotype a little bit and inspire some of you along the way. So I hope you enjoyed hearing my experiences being vegan for the the past year, some of the pros and cons in my personal experience. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all the support. Cannot wait to continue doing YouTube here from the United States again. It is so strange, but all very exciting, lots going on, lots to share. But I hope you enjoyed this quick little update video from me today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye! And until next time, guys, don't forget, every single day you have the opportunity to take your dreams and put them into action. So work hard, be kind, make it happen.